Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Home Sweet Home Rebirth. And this is a new action, horror, mystery, sci-fi thriller. It has it all, of course. And this film is from directors Stefan Hacker and Alexander Keisel. And this film focuses on the story of William Mosley's Jake, who is a cop with his family who are in this situation where they're stuck in a city overrun with demonically possessed crowd, and he must find the source of this evil to save his wife and young daughter. And you have Michelle Marone, who plays Mech, this evil entity, and Jake, who Mosley was one of the kids from Chronicles of Narnia, must team up with Chan, played by Alexander Lee, this monk who is there to spout exposition and try to explain what the hell's going on here. Does his best, and this film feels too much like a hodgepodge of fantasy, horror, science fiction, all of these things rolled up into one. There aren't quite zombies because they're demonically possessed entities, but they basically act like zombies. You have these giant demon-like entities, and there's some cool sequences with that. You just have so many different kinds of ideas being just chucked at the wall here. And sure, they have their moments, and some of those moments really stand out, and they make most of this probably small budget for this film, which is based off of a video game apparently. And it kind of feels like a video game. The narrative is very loose and then gets extremely convoluted, and you just hope that exposition dump man is able to explain some of this. It just feels like a amalgamation that's so contrived and just derivative of so many other kinds of ideas and stories and such that they just try to thread the needle as best as they can with as many ideas as possible. And this film is only like 93 minutes, and it slams so many different things into it, and yet it still feels so, like, there's moments where it feels like it's dragging, and just, it's too confusing, it's too much going on here, and these characters don't feel like they have any depth. I think Mosley's performance is a bit rocky and stiff, and it's challenging when your central performer in a film like this isn't really holding their weight. And I think Maroney gives such a scattered and strange kind of performance as this antagonist. I think the strongest aspect of this film is the absolutely adorable daughter, and she has some really compelling emotional moments towards the end of the film. Like, wow, I didn't really care about these characters except that little girl, and she is getting very emotional, and I'm feeling things. And outside of that, and some interesting, like, big concept kind of ideas, the execution of this just feels so messy, underdeveloped, and just a hodgepodge of whatever they could throw together and just smush it. And hopefully came out with a product that worked. Unfortunately, it's not very satisfying, and it doesn't really leave you with, hey, I really enjoyed this experience or anything like that. It just feels very jumbled and messy, and I think some of the coolest things in the film were certainly, like, you could tell were based off of video game elements, and, you know, you have some thrills along the way, but they're definitely not enough to outweigh just how bogged down and clunky this is. But those are my thoughts on Home Sweet Home Rebirth. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.